In this video, we're going to show you the auto-tuning of Scotty AI, and we're going to interview the owner to hear what his experience is. But firstly, I'm going to explain the AI functionality in our controller. During auto-tuning, Scotty AI goes through 4 phases of machine learning. And at each derived voltage that's used, a range of power loads is applied to the alternator, and we study at a micro level the voltage break profile, mainly the voltage rate of change. In mathematical modelling, the data points are used to form a dynamic power curve without the requirement to measure RPM. More detail on our website, but let's listen now to the owner. Hi Will, how are you today?
Very good, Bruce.
Now we ran through the auto-tuning and the setup from scratch to do the video so that we can show the powers that be at Metstrade exactly how easy this is to tune. You're the customer here. What's your feedback?
Very easy to tune, very easy to set up. I think when we did it yesterday, it took us half an hour. We obviously put on the Scotty, came up, we turned the engine on, we got out the app. And it was really interesting for me to see just all the parameters that we're feeding into mapping that particular engine. And it's a question I've always had is, how does Scotty know the engine? And I think, seeing that real time on the app was fantastic, and just testing it. So, we could test out the hard mode, the medium mode, the soft mode. And it was very interesting that we could actually hear the differences. And obviously that corresponds to fuel economy for us. But very impressed from my side, Bruce.
And then, so we also, the feature of turning it off, I think would be quite valuable on the touch display.
That's a very important thing. So if we're coming in and we're battling tide or into an anchorage and we want a bit more power from the engines, having the ability to turn it off. And we tested that yesterday and you could hear it, So I think it's a pretty important feature to have that, And even, the batteries are 100%. We heard it then ramp down, obviously, and take that load off. So, thumbs up for me.
And so we installed Scotty and started the tuning. I think the batteries were around 92%.
Yeah, 90, that's right, 90, and then it went, at a blink of an eye, it was I think 99 or 100. We were trying to put loads on to go and actually get it to put out, and we realised that it was 100%.
Yeah, so during that half an hour, we were running at 2,700 watts or so, and just fill that battery up fast as a solar backup. So Will, the sizing of the alternator, it's a 3 kilowatt, we've got on there now, Scotty's 3 kilowatt. Do you think that size fits your application here on the catamaran?
I think very well. I think when you look at that system, we didn't need to put in other systems, big alternators on that engine. It filled up the battery incredibly fast. 3 kilowatts on tap power is wonderful for a cruising catamaran. I think, coupled that with the whole system design of the solar, it's a perfect mix.
Alrighty, thanks Will.
Thanks Bruce.
Recorded on the smartphone the auto-tuning operation to demonstrate the AI functionality. The first thing that the user's got to do on the smartphone is key in the maximum charge rate from the alternator. Starts the engine and presses the auto-tune button. The first stage determines the voltage set points for the subsequent stages, and in each of the subsequent stages looks at the shape, the profile of the voltage response to the various load conditions to determine where we are on the curve. The AI functionality then extrapolates that out to the maximum current load of the alternator that was keyed in. This alternator is now auto-tuned and operating. The very first time it starts, it's in soft mode, and you can see our touch display there that's sitting in the helm station, and you can dial that from soft, medium and hard. Now we're in the hard mode at idle, so it's driving the alternator as hard as it can. You'll see it'll go all the way up to about 240 amps on the low side. We're going to scroll down now and just have a look at the CAN battery. Being a CAN BMS, it sets the charge current limit that the Scotty will run to, and there's the power and the diagnostic information at the bottom. Now we're going to show an advanced page. This is hidden from the user, but is available to us for diagnostic purposes. You'll see on this page the master-slave settings, so you can have 2 Scotties with a floating master, perfect for the catamaran application. You can also turn Scotty off either on the phone app or in the helm station on the touch display. Now we're switching it into soft mode, and we'll wait and you'll see the current build up here, the power build up. It's quite smooth. We are running PID algorithms. We've got a total of 6 in there, 3 up, 3 down, and then we switch into medium mode after it's reached its maximum here. And the interesting thing here that you'll see is we're going up to 2600 watts, and the current is about 215 amps. And then when we go into hard mode, which we are now, the current will go up to as high as 240 amps. Now the current's now dropping, and let's have a look as to why that is now declining. And we go down and have a look in the CAN battery. So this is a CAN bus BMS, and in the CAN battery it broadcasts its charge current limit. It's limited to 20 amps, 53, so that's about 1,000 watts, and we're running around just under the 1,000 watt mark. So Scotty follows the BMS of the battery precisely and will not charge over that. So now we're looking at the battery. We're winding up the current. We've got 136 amps going out at 49 volts, 50 volts. So yeah, we're going to wind it up to about 8 kilowatts. Scotty is still not running yet because the battery on the CAN side is still saying charge me at 0 amps. Now it's going 20, saying charge at 20, now 30, now 50, and Scotty now will start winding up again. The other functionality that the AI is doing is looking at alternator temperature, in fact rate of change of alternator temperature, and it's mapping that against the machine learning of the current and the voltage. And if that rate of change of alternator temperature is an outlier outside of the normal pattern, then it will move the Scotty from hard to medium, medium to soft, soft to off. So it moves it back down those particular ranges and to protect the alternator. And I've got to say, how good's that?